On July 5th, Ontario lifted the mandatory hotel quarantine that air travelers returning to Canada had to undergo. Now, fully vaccinated Canadians can travel outside the country without having to pay for and undergo that mandatory hotel quarantine, making it way easier for us Canadians to travel outside the country. And you know what that means, right? I'm going to Disney World. Hi, I'm Tatiana, Communications Director here at WDW Magazine, and welcome to our channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how a fully vaccinated Canadian like myself can travel across the border to Walt Disney World and then back again, and all the steps required to do so. So, let's get going. The first step is booking your pre-departure COVID test, and here in Ontario you can do that online at lifelabs.com. You'll have to fill out all of your flight information and then actually pay for the test, which is around $200 Canadian, and then your pharmacy will call you prior to actually taking your flight, so you have to wait for them to call you to actually book the appointment. I got called about 5 days before my flight, and your test has to come back negative within 72 hours of that departure flight. So I'm gonna go get my test tomorrow, and hopefully it comes back negative, and then I'll be on my way. Just got my COVID test at the pharmacy, and it was really easy. It wasn't the one that goes all the way up to your brain, just goes in your nose a little. And I'll be getting my test results by email, should get them tomorrow. Just received my COVID test results via email. We're gonna look at them now. Okay. Negative, I'm negative. Phew, okay, ready to fly. It is 6 a.m. and I am off to the airport. Right before going to security, you'll have to submit your signed and printed attestation form that says, yes, I have received a negative COVID test in the last 72 hours. Passing through customs, I said that I was visiting family. I did also overhear people saying they were traveling for work, and that was totally fine as well. And then at your gate, the only thing you'll need to present is your boarding pass and passport, as per usual.
To ensure your travel with us is safe, comfortable, and on time.
Bienvenue à bord d'Air Canada, membre du réseau Star Alliance. Pour votre sécurité.
Once you're on the plane, you're pretty much good to go, and you can start worrying about all the things you'll need for your return trip. Just arrived at my Disney resort, and I'm gonna go hang out in Walt Disney World for a couple days and check back in with you when I have to get my return COVID test. See you later! Return to Canada, that's where I started running into some issues. You have to book PCR COVID test to return to Canada. It can't be the antigen test. And so I booked an appointment at an Advent Health Clinic that was about 15 minutes away from Walt Disney World. Here we are. Let's go get that COVID test. So I show up at this Advent Health Clinic around 9 p.m. and there's nobody there. There's no line at all. And I walk in and the receptionist says, oh, you want to get a PCR test? We can't get that back to you in time for your flight tomorrow. Now everywhere online it had said, fast results, within half an hour, we can get you, but they don't specify. They don't say not for PCR, only for antigens. So it's very misleading. So if you do go to this Advent Health Clinic, make sure that you're doing this at least 2 days before your flight. So you're still within that 3-day window, but you have enough time to get that PCR test sent back to you. I did not get that. So it's the night before my flight and I don't have a PCR test, and this woman at the counter at the Advent Health Clinic says, just go to MCO tomorrow and go to the rapid testing center at MCO, get in line, and they'll be able to do it for you. She gives me a sheet of paper and she shows me where and how, and I go, okay. This was the sheet she gave me in case you're curious. So I show up at MCO the next day, 4 hours before my flight, and I find this walk-in clinic, which is right next to the Universal store, if you know where that is. And there's a line, and I get in line, and the line's not crazy long, but it doesn't move. And that line for 2 hours does not move. And I go up to the front of the line and I ask the people at the front how long they've been waiting there for, and they say, we've been here since 6 a.m. We were the first people in line. The place opens at 7 and they have not taken us in yet. So these people have been waiting 4 hours and there's no, they haven't gotten in yet. So while they say that they take walk-ins at the MCO clinic on this day, on this Sunday that I went, they did not. They did not take a single walk-in into their clinic. Only appointments, and you have to get your appointments at this clinic well in advance. So if you want to get tested at MCO, make sure you get that appointment like at least a week in advance, if not more. Now at this point, I realize there's no way I'm making my flight. I'm not getting my test. There's no way that they're gonna take me in if they haven't taken in the people at the very front of the line yet. So I start looking up other places where I can get a rapid PCR test. And I find this clinic that is right near Universal Studios, and I book it. I get in an Uber. I book the appointment, so you can do that online, and you have to pay up front. And it was about $250 for the test that I wanted, which was the rapid PCR test. And I show up at the clinic half an hour early, and there's nobody in there. And I walk right in and I get my test immediately, and she's like, we will email you your results within the next couple of hours. I've already rebooked my flight to the next day, so I'm good to go. I get an extra night at Disney, which is always fun. This is the clinic where I did end up getting that rapid COVID test. It is called fasttestnow.com, and it was super easy and convenient. They also do same-day PCR tests if you are in a pinch. I would highly recommend this clinic. Sure enough, about 3 hours later, I get an email that has my results. My results were negative, and hallelujah, I have everything I need to get back to Canada now. So at this point, I upload my proof of double vaccination. I had the Pfizer vaccine, 2 doses of it, but you can have Pfizer Moderna blend or full Moderna, or there are a couple of other blends that are totally fine, and proof of my negative COVID test within the last 72 hours, and my flight information and my passport information. All of that has to be uploaded to the ArriveCAN app. You can download the ArriveCAN app to your mobile device and sign in and upload all of that stuff, and then you will get a barcode that says, great, you've completed everything, you're good to go, super duper. So all of my documentation was filled out, and I had my negative COVID test, and I was set to go the next day. I go to the airport, I arrive. I had checked in on my phone, so I never had to go up to any kind of kiosk to check in. I went right through security. Nobody asked me for anything except my boarding pass and passport. And then I arrived at my gate. And here at your gate, this is where they check to see that you have the negative PCR test within the last 72 hours. So the flight attendant that was checking me in, she asked me to open up my email and show me the negative COVID test, and she checked that it was PCR, and she checked that it was within 72 hours, and she said, great, you're good to go, onto the plane, and you're good. Once you arrive back in Canada, you will pass through customs again. This is where they will check your ArriveCAN app. So if you are fully vaccinated and you've uploaded all of the information to ArriveCAN and you get your confirmation, they will ask you to show it. They will scan the barcode and then say, great, you're good, go right ahead. And it was a really smooth process. I was really nervous. I thought I would have to start showing all this documentation of my COVID tests and my vaccination and all kinds of other stuff, but they really just want to see your passport and the ArriveCAN app. And the customs officer just said, go ahead. I went right through, and then upon exiting, you'll pass through another checkpoint where these employees in blue head-to-toe hazmat suit style outfits are handing out boxes to everyone who comes through the gate. And they give you this blue box, and it is your at-home COVID test. And instructions are inside, and they say, go home, do the COVID test within 24 hours of landing, and you should be good. This is what's inside that blue box. It was an at-home COVID test, super easy to do, and Pure Later comes to pick it up the very next day. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys found this helpful. You can always check out our blog linked below for more information, and be sure to check your province's official COVID-19 website before you travel, because guidelines are always changing, and this is just what I went through this month in July. But if you're watching this at a later date, things could be different, so do make sure that you check before you go. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and if you want even more Disney magic delivered to your door, subscribe to WDW Magazine. It is the best Disney magazine ever. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!